Happy Tesla Monday. I hope everyone is doing well. Tesla up 3% today, trying to break that $300 level as we talk. A lot's changed in the last few weeks, Tesla stock price-wise, sentiment-wise. My last video, I got some interesting comments about, Yash, what are you talking about? Tesla's crashing and, it's over for Tesla. And the amount of hate in the comments with Elon has probably reached an all-time high. Let's talk into that and to why I continue to think this will be a phase, despite what you might think, and we'll get into that. First, I have a quick announcement. If you're in Vancouver, if you're not doing anything today, come by Brew Hall on 2nd Avenue at 7 p.m. We're doing a Tesla meetup with Gary Marks actually organizing it. Go check my X at Hey It's Yashu, or check if you're on YouTube. You can go to my posts on my YouTube channel. You'll see more details there. I'll probably be going. Yes, I am actually going as of right now. The only exception is if my wife ends up giving birth at any given point today, I'm probably gonna have to dip out. But other than that, I should be there, and stay tuned on X with me for updates. But yeah, come by. I already know a lot of Tesla fans in Vancouver that are gonna be showing up, so it's always a good time. And honestly, with the conversations that we're having right now with Tesla, and I'll segue into that, it is such a contentious time. We've had different disagreements in the past within the Tesla investor base of, there's the conversation about, should Elon buy Twitter? Should Tesla launch this? What about the new model here? But what we're seeing now, and Elon obviously very much focused into Doge and into government overreach and all that stuff, Tesla fans, especially more of the casual ones, the ones that have just picked up Tesla in the last few years, started following it as a company, despite what Elon's controversies for the last few years, a lot of them now look at Tesla and go, well, this is, too much of an existential risk for my portfolio. I'm not holding anything Elon. There's a boycott there as well. And we're seeing the concerted, the short selling, honestly, and the fundraising that goes on to these protests. It's part and parcel for what is going on in the government at the moment. And I mean, I kid you not, the amount of programming that is going on, the brainwashing, I should say, for the general purpose person that's going to these protests and fighting against Elon. There was that video that surfaced yesterday of this young gentleman that this guy goes up to holding Elon as a Nazi sign, starts asking him about Elon, starts asking about what he's done, that he's a Nazi. And of course, it's, Elon is literally on Joe Rogan 2 days ago saying, I don't know how I make this any more clear. I'm not a Nazi. Anyways, he goes up to this guy and he goes, like, what have you heard or anything? And this guy is like essentially mute. He can't answer anything. He doesn't really know. He's just, I'm just here to hold the sign. It's almost like he's a paid actor, right? And I think, of course, if you have a disagreement with Elon, 100% air it out. That's fine. I mean, we live in a free speech society, and that's actually, ironically, one of the things that I think should be always pushed. But at the end of the day, I feel like there's a lot of mindlessness going on both sides at the moment. Elon's terrible, Elon sucks, Elon's got to go. And then the other side, of course, just looking at what Elon has done and going, no matter what he does, he can't be wrong. Like, for example, I disagreed with him on a post yesterday. Elon tweeted that the U.S. should leave NATO. I very much disagree with that as a good policy. Anyways, we don't have to get into politics on this channel. But my point being is, I really do think in the last 2 weeks here, a large portion of the selling that we've seen is probably institutional liquidating for sure, the unwinding of the Trump trade for sure. But I also think there is a degree of short selling that is going on baked in within Tesla, because people don't want to see Elon win. It's just as a matter of fact as that. NASDAQ will release their short interest soon, and we can take a look. But I do think there's a large degree of, let's do whatever we can to bankrupt Elon, so to speak, as if that's kind of a possibility at all. So anyways, there's this whole discussion of demand now in Tesla. Are people going to buy cars? I mean, to be fair, I do worry about one thing. And that is when unsupervised gets launched in June, Are we going to see, and if sentiment continues until then, are we going to see this public outrage in the same way that you kind of see those Waymo cars every now and then get completely vandalized and people come by and the crazy guys like banging on, the windshield and breaking it and then, crushing the side mirrors? Do we get a degree of that in June? And again, June is so far away. Who knows if Tesla timeline sticks even? But as we sit here in the beginning of March now, which is crazy to say, I mean, this year is flying by. It seems like this will never go away. Okay, it's the beginning of March. It's stuck around, obviously, since Trump's gotten into office. The sentiment, it's actually probably agitated a little bit more than it should have in the last little bit. And it feels like to us, and I understand this, that it's never gonna go away. This is gonna stick forever. And though there's, I like to think of probabilities. I think maybe there's a 5% chance of that happening. I don't think it's insignificant by any means, but I think by and large, this sentiment that we all exist in at the moment with anti-Elon and I get it, the next 4 years might be a little bit tough. As you're hearing this, you're probably saying, Yash, what are you talking about? The next 4 years, it's only going to get louder in the next few years at least. And maybe, but there will come a time where none of this really will be a conversation within Tesla's story, right? It is right now. We kind of see this with a large scale amount of protests. People like to go out there, picket, and show up their signs for whatever cause, good, bad, or ugly. And that's their right. But at the end of the day, momentum is hard to carry for months and months and months, let alone years and years and years. And I think, despite a lot of people disagreeing with me in the last video and saying, yeah, what are you talking about? This is completely over for Tesla. The brand is over. This is never going to go away. The cat's out of the bag. The genie's out of the bottle. It's over. I continue to think there's the majority chance that this is not, right? And vast majority chance, right? So anyways, I'm not trying to say one thing or another about the stock or you should do this. I never do. I never give financial advice on this channel. But all I'm saying is I'm kind of just mostly closing my eyes at the moment and going, this too shall pass. We've seen it with Tesla, but not to the level, and I will admit, not to the level that we see it today. But this too shall pass is what motto I have. Because at the end of the day, when Tesla makes the Cybercab, solves FSD, the Tesla bots are being produced out of the factory line and being used very shortly here. Those are all earnings drivers for Tesla. The only, a factory is not going to be like, I'm not going to employ 1,000 Tesla bots and save 20% gross margin because I don't agree with Elon. I just don't see that happening. Yes, I'm not blind to the fact that right now a lot of people might not want to buy a Tesla in certain places of the world, Europe being one of them. I have a lot of European friends in the comments, and let me know if I'm wrong here, that are saying, look, there is a degraded degree of brand trust for Tesla. But then again, I'm saying this will go away soon. It might not be immediately, but at least, and if you think I'm wrong with that, feel free to toss me a comment down below. Let me know. I'm always open to different viewpoints, but I still put a probability of that under 5%. Okay, maybe I'm too Pollyannish. I don't know. Call me an optimist, but at the end of the day, I think earnings will drive growth for Tesla stock, and the future that exists for Tesla is kind of independent of this. Now, do I prefer, what do I prefer, right? I don't think you really tuned into this video to hear about what I prefer. I'm not going to get into that too much, but all I have to say is you kind of knew what you're signing up with Elon. Elon has always had so many different projects on the go at all times. He has 5 different multi-billion-dollar companies. The government is his first trillion-dollar company, right? I guess if you want to phrase it like that. But people that are saying, by the way, I'm just gonna wrap up this with a bow. People that are saying that Elon should be replaced as CEO, I don't think understand how multifaceted you have to be as an individual to run Tesla. Not only do you have to be well versed into manufacturing, into supply chains, into autonomy, aka AI, large language models, neural nets, Tesla energy, and the politics that surround all the sensitive areas that Tesla works in. to Elon at part-time, okay, Elon at whatever percent part-time you want to throw him at. I know a lot of people in the comments are going to say Elon is a 20% part-time CEO or whatever. Him at part-time beats the snot, no disrespect, out of a Herbert Diess or a Peter Rawlinson, okay? Or insert legacy car guy here, right? Whoever, Trevor Milton, he's out of jail, by the way. So he beats the snot out of anyone else I can think about, because you have to be so multifaceted to be the CEO of Tesla. That, are we kind of at the whim of Elon? Maybe, but Elon's genius is what makes Elon, and that's what makes him sort of a little bit crazy. You know, it is what it is. So anyways, that's my rant for the day. I hope everyone's doing well. Again, if you're Vancouver, I'll see you maybe at Brew Hall today. Shoot me a message if you plan on going. And I'll catch you in the next one. Hit subscribe on your way out. Peace out.